doesn't look too shabby, does it? That's the show, the highlight reel from our package, the evolution of Hong Kong. And the cool thing about highlight reels is that they just show the good bits, right? They just show the glam, the elegance, all that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing about this project is that I liken it to a duck taking a swim on a pond. The duck is cruising on the water, and above the surface of the water, it's looking elegant and sleek, and everything's fine. And then under the water, those legs are pumping really, really hard. And so, as I talk to you about my particular use case, the construction of our first dedicated series Immersive 360 project, it's not a tale of pixies and rainbows. Okay, I'll get that out there right now. It is a tale of just toil and frustration, and just the headaches that come with doing something new, right? Doing something new. So, okay, let's get cracking. Basically, what we were doing was coming up with a specific digital project to mark the 20th anniversary of Hong Kong's handover to China on July 1 this year. So, I'm sure you're all familiar with that date. It's a significant moment for Hong Kong. And so we established 3 key objectives. We wanted to explore the development of Hong Kong, from fishing village to Asian economic powerhouse. That's a lot of distance to cover. We want to utilise 114 years of SCMP archives and talk old school pictures, illustrations, paintings, all this kind of fun stuff that, that showed a Hong Kong that is so far removed from what it is today. We wanted to use that for before and after kind of comparisons. And we wanted to innovate. So we wanted to leverage new formats, technologies, and platforms to tell our story. And that was a cool bit for us. There was no print overhead. There was no silly worrying about print execution. We're going to have some fun, do something a little bit different, right? So we came up with a plan. Basically, 2-month project deadline starting in May, with delivery slated for July 1. We're very, very deadline-driven people. What can't you do in 2 months, right? What can possibly go wrong? 2 months. I thought we could do anything in 2 months. So we decided we wanted to build a HTML experience. We couldn't do anything like a bespoke app. It had to be HTML because we wanted to be device agnostic. So we wanted the same experience to work on mobile, to work on tablet and desktop, obviously. Now, at this point, we started talking to our good friends at Google. So we got a little partnership with them in Hong Kong. It was very, very fruitful, but they have a lot of good stuff, good advice as far as immersive storytelling goes. So I met up with Googs, and we were like, hey, can you give us some advice on 360 video, etc.? They said, cool, okay. So what we did was we sat down and we engaged an external team to shoot the 360. We didn't have the skills or the expertise. We'd never done it before. So obviously we had to get in the cavalry. That's great. And we're going to shoot 360 video from 12 different locations around Hong Kong. It was going to go on YouTube for VR. Fantastic. It was such an idealistic time. And then we're also going to utilise a little something called Google Earth Studio to make this happen. Now, Google Earth Studio is something that that is still in development, I believe. It is a very, very handy tool. I'm sure you'll be hearing more about it in the months ahead. Basically, it's just a content creation tool that leverages Google Earth, etc. Very, very good for location-based information. So the rig, who can fail to be unimpressed by a cool drone? Like a big, big drone, and lots of 360 kit. It was very exciting for us. But then came the actual project itself. We were so excited. We were going to do something new. We'd put all of 3 weeks intensive planning into it. And then it rained. And it didn't stop. It rained for 6 straight weeks. Now, anyone familiar with Hong Kong will know there's a cruise ship terminal in Victoria Harbour, right in the city centre. I'm pretty sure Noah's Ark pulled up right there in the cruise ship terminal, and all the animals got on and stuff. It was great. It was biblical. And so it ran for 6 straight weeks. It was Hong Kong's wettest June on record. So you can imagine with the 360 shooting schedule where everything's outside, that's going to cause a few issues. 6 straight weeks, I kid you not. And the 6-week rain also came as Hong Kong established new drone restrictions, which meant, where we could fly, now we couldn't. And that was pretty nuts. We did not see that one coming. That just came out. So all our plans kind of fell apart, and we only finished with 9 of 12 360 shots. Now think about this. We had 2 months, so it all came, our shooting schedule was in 2 weeks. So in the meantime, we started assembling the HTML shell. Google Earth Studio, it was very, very easy to get the animation happening. Like, big shout out to Mike in the audience there. He was very, very helpful. Like, one-on-one, he guided us through the process of using this new tool. And the animation, the location-based animation, is the coolest bit, in my opinion. Very, very cool. So thank you. But it turns out rendering 360 video for both Android and iOS, like browsers I'm talking about, it's not really a thing. Right? So you can get stuff, you can have apps, you can have YouTube, all that works fine. But if you're constructing a browser-based 360 experience with text, image overlays, etc., turns out you can't really get them to work in both iOS and Android, the same code base. So that caused a bit of consternation because 1, 2, 3. Our development team is 3, right? 3. So by the time the waters receded, so our hairlines. I had like beautiful mane of hair before all this happened. And then there was the inevitable scope creep. We had to change our project scope as new logistical and development challenges emerged, and there were so many. But at the same time, we had to find novel ways to overcome these issues. So with the late delivery of the project, we came up past, we launched 2 weeks past the handover anniversary. So when it comes to learnings, you're going to realize that we are not CNN, we're not the New York Times, we're an aspirational publisher, we're doing something for the first time. So we made it, we're happy with that. We're happy we embraced 360 video and Google Earth Studio because they are now embedded in our newsroom. But my advice, bite the bullet, start small, buy your own stuff and go native. Don't go mobile browsers, don't make the same mistakes that we did. Thank you.